28th of August, a media center of Ukraine continues its work, and we will be talking about the prices on gas stations in Ukraine, and Serhii Kuiun, expert on fuel prices, with us. Hello, Mr. Serhii. Hello. So the situation remains unstable on the fuel markets, and what do you think of it, and what can you foresee for the beginning of autumn? Well, the world market stabilized, so to speak, after the stresses of the June that was connected with the war between Israel and Palestine, and also strikes by the U.S. against Iran. And 67, $68 per barrel is the stable price, and the buying prices in Ukraine, procurement prices in Ukraine has fallen. Also, so we are observing is a certain decrease of prices on the retail market in Ukraine, and also we have the potential for the liquidated natural gas to also decrease, and the potential of the hryvnia to decrease as well. So in this context, especially, I don't understand those messages in the media about the possible increase of the fuel prices, and what I can see there are the signs of the information campaign in the media, because the sources were kind of shady, and the increase for more than 10 hryvnias, I don't think we will see it. On the contrary, I think we will be seeing some decrease in the prices. So the law about the 5% of spirit in the in the gas, did it become effective already? What is the situation there? Well, it was kind of an intense beginning, and despite some of the fears, the initial phase was completed more or less normally. I haven't heard any kind of complaints about this from the producers or users. However, in the end of June, the cabinet of the ministers of Ukraine delayed the implementation of this norm, and this was a reaction to the heightened demand for the gas, for the fuel in Ukraine, and to deliver in fast order this fuel with the spirit additive. It's a limited quantity of the plants that produce this petrol, and until the end of Ukraine, we have covered the demand for the petrol without the spirit, and it needs to be said that it's kind of natural, because the non-spirit petrol is less pricey, and however, we did gain a certain experience. Everybody have had the opportunity to see that the addition of the spirit into the fuel is not as harmful as it was thought. So right now, after they have become familiar with this process and with this type of the petrol, there is rumors, there is discussions about the possibility of organizing the production inside Ukraine, because it is kind of logical to develop the production of this type of fuel in the territory inside the country, and I think that starting the next year we will see more Ukrainian producers that are producing this type of the petrol. The armed forces of Ukraine conduct successful operations against oil facilities in Russia, in particularity about the oil pipe friendship, and there were some announcements, some claims by the expert that this will have consequences not only for the Russian Federation but also for Ukraine. What do you think about it? Yes, regarding the strikes against those oil processing facilities inside Russia, it indeed led to increase of the consumer prices for the fuel. But I would like to mention that in this is exactly the season when in the Russian Federation the prices for the fuel always increase. However, this time they have risen quite substantially, and it is indeed a direct consequence of damage that was inflicted against those oil processing facilities. However, let's be realists, and Russia is one of the biggest producers of the oil raw materials. This is their main export component of the foreign trade, and to expect that there will be a great deficit of the petrol or fuel in Russia as a result of those attacks, I don't think it is worth it. Because right now we can see steps that the Russian Federation is taking in direction of compensating and stabilizing this situation. Let's not forget, Russians can live without a lot of the things that constitute normal human comfort. You know, they can live without toilets. You know, and some of the regions in Russia can basically go without fuel at all, and they will not be complaining about this. There will not be any kind of economical collapse, I would like to emphasize again. However, I would like to underscore that these operations are indeed very, very successful in terms of economical impact, because this money that they lose during the attacks against their oil processing facilities, they will be not possible to spend on the war. So you can see that this war is the war of attrition, and the more we can conduct strikes like this, then the more pricey will the war be for them. So the main goal of these strikes is not to basically destroy their oil-producing domain field, but to inflict great economical losses. You know that strikes against not only against the plants, processing plants, but also pumping facilities are also effective. I'm pretty sure that this is a very good decision in terms of inflicting a maximum damage against the enemy, because the main source, the main fuel for the war is the export of oil products. And the strikes that we are discussing right now, they inflict the direct damage against the war efforts of the Russian Federation. You must understand what these processing plants, these are not just small factories. Those are huge combined plants, and to move around those facilities, they use literally buses, shuttle buses. And you may know that in order to destroy our Kremenchuk oil processing plant, they have used more than hundreds and hundreds of drones. However, what we are doing, what we are seeing is we consistently inflict damage, the damage against their energy sphere. So we are talking, there's a lot of talk about the friendship pipe and possible difficulties for the consumer. For the consumers. However, this is not. This should not be the main focus in terms of war. In the context of the war, what's more important is not the strike against the Druzhba pipe. It's the damage. It's damage against their energy domain in general. So in this context, the Druzhba pipe is quite a laughable matter, especially when Slovakia officials, for example, are claiming that Ukraine will be facing the consequences of these strikes too. But this is ridiculous, really. Let's just imagine. Those 10% of the gas that is from the transit from Russia that is Slovakia consuming, it will be, well, I will say just this, it will be easy for us to find the replacement for those 10% of the Russian export of oil products, but it will be difficult for them. So they will be forced to buy oil in some shady, corrupt schemes through the sea. Through the sea routes, and they will be facing a much worse situation than us. They are not doing us any kind of a favor by selling this gas to us. We don't really care who to pay to them or to maybe the Polish. So once again, it will be easy for us. It will be difficult for them. So I don't think it's worth to pay attention to these claims from Slovakia. Thank you. I will remind you that we were talking about the fuel prices in Ukraine. Media Center of Ukraine continues its work. Stay with us, and glory to the heroes. Glory to Ukraine.